Hey guys, how you doing? Eric at SoCal Cigars. This is going to be a cool video. I'm totally excited about reviewing this cigar. So a little backstory is, on Friday nights, a bunch of us that ride get together at our dealership and we have what we call happy hour, where we just basically sit around and smoke cigars, talk about bikes, that type of thing. So a couple Fridays ago, I had stopped by the dealer and one of my buddies, Colby, who knows the kind of cigars I like, our taste is very similar. Knows I love acid, Drew Estate stuff. Knows I like the sweet kind of stuff. And he handed me a cigar and he goes, "Dude, smell this cigar." And I smelt it, and I'm telling you, the first words out of my mouth is I said, "I want to eat this cigar." It smells amazing. And I'm like, I looked at the band on the cigar, and I'm like, I've never even heard of this in my life. I go, where the hell did these things come from? He's like, I don't know. He said, I don't know. I saw them online. I got them, and they're freaking awesome. I go, dude, I'm going to order some, and I'm going to review these right away. So I literally that night ordered a 5-pack. Got them last Tuesday because I was hoping to do it last weekend, but got it last Tuesday, and so now I'm going to do them today, and I'm really looking forward to this. So I'll show you the cigar. I'm going to read a little bit like I do. I pulled it off their website just to get some information about this cigar, because to tell you the truth, I'd never even heard of this before. So this is all new to me. I did, though, want to give a shout out to, there's a lot of YouTube channels I watch. Being, on YouTube myself, you're always looking at other content creators, and I don't just look at cigar stuff. I look at all sorts of stuff, a lot of bike stuff, a lot of just random stuff. I mean, I just, get a kick out of what people come up with. I think it's kind of cool to see how creative people can be. And so I stumbled across a long time ago a YouTube channel called The Grim Life Collective. Okay. And it's a husband and wife, and they go do all these crazy things. They do anything from going to Disneyland to going to a cemetery to going to a murder scene. And some of the things I like the best that they do is they go and they find filming locations. Like they just did one for Night of the Living Dead, where they actually found the cemetery. They did the drive. They reenacted some of the scenes, found the camera angles so you could see the different headstones. And they just went to like a clown motel out in the middle of the desert. They just are all over the place, and they do a lot of really cool content. This is actually one of their shirts. This is their logo. So anyway, they don't even know I'm doing this, so it's nothing to do with that. I just figured that if there's content I really enjoy watching, and you enjoy watching my content, why not pass along a little information for you? So I would highly recommend checking out the Grim Life Collective. I think you will have a good time. They're really cool people, and they do some really good content. They spend a lot of time and energy doing research, so highly recommend them. That being said, this is the cigar. Never heard of this in my life. It is called the Upsetters, and it just says Jamaica-Nicaragua. This one is the original Rude Boy, which is in the 6x60. So this is a Gordo Maduro. Okay. So I'll take this out. I'm gonna give you my first impressions of the cigar itself, and then I will read you what I wrote after I get this thing lit up. I'm telling you, just like I told Kobe, you smell the cigar, you literally want to eat it. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. It is so rich. The construction is awesome. I'm not sure how well this is going to zoom in on this. The construction is awesome. The cap is deep, so that's great. I hate when it's a shallow cap and you can, you're concerned about it unrolling, but the seams are tight. Really, really nice. And I'm telling you, the smell, phenomenal. All right, this sucker is going to definitely take the Calibri Deep V, because this goes up to a 60. So again, like you've seen, put it in there and you give it the old snippy, just like that, easy as pie. So we got the nice deep V cut there. Nice draw. Yeah, it feels like you can tell the draws. You can tell it's been the construction's good. It's been wound good. It's a very even draw. You don't feel, sometimes you draw through a cigar and it almost feels kind of patchy. Like you can tell that there's loose spots and crap inside the cigar. This is a very consistent pull. And one thing I'll notice, and I'll let you know, is I don't taste anything really very sweet on the cap. For as sweet as this smells, it doesn't taste sweet. So again, I mean, I'm flying blind on this one because usually most of the cigars I will review I've smoked before, so I know what to expect. No idea on this one. This is totally random. So let's do a little toasty action. I'm on a different spot in my backyard today because the wind is even worse than last video where I could barely get my cigar to light because the wind was blowing it out. Again, Southern California, you know, you're always thinking we're getting just 70 degrees, blue skies, but not always. Today is overcast. I think it's awesome. It's kind of crappy looking. It's gray. It looks like there's clouds looming around that might rain. And as far as I knew, we were supposed to have 80-degree weather, so that didn't happen. Anyway, got the toasty going here. Let's go ahead and light the sucker up and see what we can do. Do a little blow through. See if that does anything. You never know. Okay, I think we're lit. I'm going to pull my sheet out here and give you guys the rundown. Here's the data. Alright, the Upsetter's Original Rude Boy 6x60. Shape is a Gordo. Size 60x60. Strength, they list this as medium. Country of origin is Nicaragua. The wrapper is a Connecticut broadleaf. The color they list as Maduro. The binder and filler is both Nicaragua. Grade is what they list as a hand-rolled long filler. So apparently this is not machine rolled, this is hand-rolled. And the blender is Nicholas Maleo. And here's a little rundown on the Upsetters. Again, I've never, at all my years of cigaring, I've never heard this name. It says the Upsetters by Foundation Cigar Company. So apparently that's who is the company behind the Upsetters line. It says the Upsetters represents the next level in the evolution of the infused cigar smoking segment. Beginning with our unique use of Jamaican cow tongue leaf, the Upsetters fillers evenly pair this rare and ancient tobacco with only the finest Nicaraguan leaf available. Utilizing a tradition established thousands of years ago, the Upsetters flavor and profile further benefits from a carefully measured technique known as Caribbean atmospheric herbal fusion. All said, the Upsetters' full line of premium cigars reflects a certain elegance that is sure to appeal to both the experiential and adventurous smoker, as well as the most ardently traditional smoker alike. So, that's what they say. Let's see what it tastes like. Because one good thing about that, and I've made this comment before, is they don't really tell you what to expect, which is kind of cool. So like I told you, like on my last review, a lot of times when they tell you the taste that you're supposed to expect, I think it skews it a little bit, because then you're really looking for that, versus like for me right now, I'm really just looking to see, try to keep my shirt unwrinkled. It's totally wrinkled. Trying to do this logo justice because I think it's a cool shirt and a cool logo. Yeah, I think when they give you too many hints on what it should taste like, you start looking for that versus really just tasting it yourself. And so I kind of like, I don't know, I like both ways. Because I think if they give you some taste that they clearly have tasted themselves and enough to put it in the description, you do want to figure out, hey, is there a way I can get to those flavors or aromas? Is it the retrohaling, you know? So that, I guess there's both sides of it. because it actually could help coach you in a way to start finding those flavors that they're telling you should be there. So I don't know. I guess it could go both ways. Interesting. Never really thought about it. See, we learn together. Isn't this fun? So on the onset, I don't taste any. There's no real sweetness on the cap to talk about. Compared to the smell, and this is always misleading with cigars and with pipe tobacco as well. The way it smells and the way it tastes when you smoke it are usually not the same, and so that's true here. It smelled like so flavorfully infused and fruitful and this and that. I wanted to eat the damn thing. When you smoke it, though, I'm actually surprisingly trying pretty hard to pull some flavors out that I'm not identifying anything as of yet, but obviously I'm barely into this thing. But it's smooth. It's got a nice draw. The smoke output so far is pretty about medium. The burn is a little wonky, but I don't usually judge a burn in the beginning because it can go a little haywire. But right now, I think if I have to try to pull any flavor this soon out of it, I think the only thing that's coming through for me is almost a little bit of a kind of a chocolatey, earthy flavor. Maybe that's all I'm really getting as of now. But again, I got to get obviously a little deeper into this thing. I'm trying to make sure to retrohale too, so I'm getting as much as I can. But again, I think this is going to take a minute to develop. Did want to mention that my pairing today is going to go back to the traditional Mountain Dew, because the logo, the shirt, the Mountain Dew, an infused flavored cigar. It all seems to work really good to me. So let's open this mofo up. Take a little sip of the old Dew. Oh, nectar of the gods, I'm telling you. Anyway, I think I'm going to get a little bit into this to start getting some flavors out of it. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this and get a little deeper and see where we go from here. So hang tight. Don't go anywhere. Okay, I'm back, and we've gotten a little deeper into this thing. So I want to show you something too. See how wonky this burn is? I'm not gonna chalk this up to the cigar and its quality. What I did was I didn't follow my own rule, and because I wanted to do this review, I got these things Tuesday. I actually kept them in the bag they came in because they were shipped from Atlantic Cigar Company, and they had their own little pack in there of humidification. I was so busy this week, I ended up throwing it back in my humidor in the bag, and I didn't pull this out till today. So there's a few things I did wrong there, because again, this is the whole point of these videos for me, is to let you know the best way to do things, and I didn't do them the best way. What I should have done is I should have pulled them out of the bag, and I should have put them in my humidor right away, and then I should have staged my cigar. And that brings me up. That brings up a really good point that I'm going to actually do a video, maybe even today, because this is a really important thing. And I haven't really done a video or talked much about staging your cigars, but and I'm not going to go too much into it because I'm actually going to do a video about it. And by staging your cigars, you can really avoid some of this wonkiness, because I think what I would chalk this up to right now is there's just too much humidification in the cigar, which is no fault to where I bought it from or from the manufacturer. It's really that I should have let this thing sit in my humidor for at least 2 weeks minimum, and I should have staged my cigar a couple days before I smoked it. So, but we're gonna watch out for the next video coming up, because that's going to be about staging, and I think this will be a real help to a lot of people, even me, if I follow my own damn rules. But I was excited to get this going. Anyway, so I've gotten into this. Besides the wonkiness of the burn, you can see the ash is beautiful. I mean, the hits are coming out great. Kind of every time you puff on it, is that where you'll see like a bigger, like a fatter segment of the ash. It's kind of funny. You can follow that as you go along. I'd say that the output, again, it's not crazy heavy output of smoke. It's about a medium on that. So here's where I'm at, because I was sitting there. I've been sitting here smoking this, thinking about, what am I going to tell you about this cigar? My anticipation for this cigar and what I expected to taste was going to be a lot more like a Drew Estate acid. I was actually thinking in my own head that this was going to be kind of like a deep dish on steroids. It isn't. It's much different than that. So let me try to explain this, because this is going to probably sound like the dumbest thing I've ever said in a cigar video. But if I had to really nail what this cigar tastes like, it tastes like tobacco. Hear me out, because I know that sounds dumb as all get out. What this tastes like is very thick, creamy, quality, earthy, almost like a little chocolatey tobacco leaf. I mean, I don't even know how to put it, but almost like kind of like reading. It was something let me get this again. It was something they said in this description that is making me feel this way too. Okay, so let me read that again, because this is something to do with it, I'm telling you. Utilizing a tradition established thousands of years ago, the upsetter's flavor and profile further benefit from a carefully measured technique known as Caribbean atmospheric herbal fusion. And so what I'm thinking of in an infused cigar, a lot of times what I'm thinking with Drew Estates is botanicals. Okay, but this isn't botanicals. Like it just said, this is more herbal. And I think that's what I'm getting. The aftertaste or the back taste I'm getting on the back of my tongue towards my throat. It's like an herbal flavor. And I'm just telling you, it tastes like you're, because a lot of times I think when you smoke a cigar, the flavor can be masked by other things that they do to the cigar, or it's really just, it's a traditional cigar, so the leaves are just really just blended. There's no infusing process they go through, so you're really just tasting the recipe that they've used from different parts of the plant and things like that. But this, I think, the way it feels like the way that they have used this herbal infusing process on a really high quality leaf, you really, the true tobacco flavor is really coming through strong with that hint of herbal and chocolate. That's what I'm getting. So what I don't want you to be led to believe is that this is going to be like smoking an acid deep dish or something. You're not getting that sweet flavor or the botanical flavor. You're getting a very thick, grounded, quality tobacco flavor, which is actually really, it's almost like refreshing, if that makes sense. Because you smoke so many cigars, I think that just taste sort of like generic tobacco. Even though they're good cigars and they blend them well, and there's good profiles, and it's not a knock on those. There's something about this one that is really, I just keep thinking of the word quality. It's just like it's top-notch tobacco. And I think it maybe has something to do with that infusion of whatever herbal flavors you're getting. But it doesn't really taste like herbs. I can't nail an herb that I'm tasting. I still get that earthy, creamy, chocolatey, and not overbearing chocolate, but it's enough to where I'm saying it. And when I am tasting the aftertaste, it's very pleasant aftertaste, because sometimes you get a bitter or almost a flavor in your mouth that you want to get rid of. This isn't. You know what it almost tastes like? Again, this is going to sound like, this is even to me sounding like the weirdest cigar review I've ever done. I almost have this very subtle hint of like incense in my mouth. It's what it is. I don't know what to tell you guys. It's what I'm getting. It's really weird, and it's really great. I'm as pleased with this cigar as I am thrown by this cigar, because it's nothing I anticipated when I was going to do this review. And see, I'm having to hit it because I think the humidity is too high in the cigar, and again, I'll take credit for that. That's my own fault. So I'm having to really, I have a feeling that if I had let this stage like it should have, I'm going to ash this. I think that it would have. You could probably set this thing down for 10 minutes and it would stay lit. But I think right now, because the humidity's too high, that's where I'm kind of almost having to struggle a little bit. In fact, I'm even going to touch this one up because I want to give it a fair shake at burning well, and I don't think it's getting one from the way I've mismanaged the cigar from buying it. But I was just kind of excited to do this review, so I wanted to get it. I wanted to get her done. So. And again, you know me, I don't like to relight cigars if I can help it, but I would rather relight a cigar than have to keep hotboxing it to try to keep it lit, because then you're really heating it up and drawing crap through the cigar. Do a blow through on that one. So anyway, I've kind of reset and again, like I've told you, there's no problem resetting the burn. If it's burning wonky, just go ahead and trim it down with your lighter and get it back to a good burn. There's no issues with that. There's no rules. They're all guidelines, in my opinion. Do what you want. Yeah, I'm saying. That's what I'm getting. Yeah, I got it. I almost have to add the word incense into this. That's really what I'm tasting. It's like if you lit incense in your house and it went out, and then maybe like an hour later you could still get that very subtle background hint of incense that you could still smell, just because it's lingering around. That's sort of what it tastes like in the back of my mouth. It's very pleasant. And the dew helps. The dew helps everything. Yeah, I mean, it's funny because sometimes when you buy a cigar and you have this expectation built up for it, you almost can feel deflated or let down or disappointed. I don't feel that way at all. I just feel surprised that it's not what I expected, but it's just as great. It's almost like if you wanted to really smoke a flavorful, traditional cigar and really taste what really good tobacco should taste like, that's kind of what I'm getting from this, which is fantastic, because I think we smoke, and don't get me wrong, there's so many good cigars out there, but I'm telling you, I smoked so many of these cigars that they're okay. They're good. But this is exceptional in regards to tasting the tobacco. Yeah, because when I retrohale it, all I'm really getting from the retrohale, that's where I pick up that creamy little hint of like a chocolate flavor. And then just in the rest of your mouth, you're just kind of getting flooded with it's kind of a creamy feeling with that little bit of, like a rich tobacco flavor and a little, like I said, a little bit of like an incense type thing going on here. I don't know. I know it all sounds weird, but you just have to try it, I guess, because this is it's very good. It's the only way I just keep going back to that feeling of this is just really good, really quality is the taste I keep getting. Yeah, so again, if you were like me, kind of thinking this is going to be like smoking an acid on steroids, it's definitely not. This is almost like smoking a really good cigar on steroids. It's just like what a cigar should taste like. It's what tobacco should taste like. And maybe it is just that little herbal kick. But again, the herbal kick that I can taste, it's not a specific herb. I'm like saying it tastes just like this one. You can just tell that whatever they've done to it, you're picking up that's present. But not really identifiable, just that it's there, and it leaves a very pleasant taste in your mouth, which not all cigars do. I've smoked some really expensive good cigars, and I still don't really like the flavor that's in my mouth. This, though, it's really good. All right, well, let's take another little break here. I'll get this down even farther, and then we'll wrap this sucker up and see what we think. So don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. All right, back. I've got this thing down a little farther. Again, it hasn't changed much. That's one thing I'll tell you about this too. It's been really consistent. So I don't think, again, I'm not going to smoke it down to a nub on this review. I think at this point, it is what it is. So let's see if I can't wrap this up in a way that makes some sense. So what I want you to do is know what you're getting into if you go buy this, based on my review. So what I would say is that you're getting it's very creamy, a little bit of a chocolatey note. You're getting that herbal hint. I can only equate it to tasting like almost like a little hint of incense in the back of your throat when you're not hitting it, and you're just getting what's in your what's left over in your mouth. It just tastes like a really creamy, rich, high quality tobacco. So what I don't want you to think is you're going to go out and get this and it's going to be like smoking a Drew Estates, like acid, like deep dish, or Cuba Cuba, because you'll be disappointed. It's not. And if you only like really sweet cigars, this is not a really sweet cigar. And if you're thinking it's just going to be a normal cigar, it's not that either. I would say it's somewhere in the middle. The infusing is not sweet or botanical. It is more herbal. That does make sense to me. Even as I get deeper into this, I can really feel like I can't pinpoint the herbal flavor, but it is in a generic herbal flavor. So yeah, it's a happy medium. But I think that if you're like me and you like infused cigars and you like regular cigars, you would be very happy with this. This is a very flavorful, creamy, rich, high quality tasting cigar. So what I would do, because they're a little pricey, that's why I didn't buy a whole box, because I didn't want to buy a whole box and then not really like them. I wasn't sure what I was going to experience here, so I just bought the $5. I would highly recommend going out and maybe buying a one-off at a brick and mortar. And keep in mind, this is also the Maduro. They have other, I think they have like a Connecticut as well. So if I remember looking on the website, there was probably about 6 different versions of this cigar, and this happened to be the Maduro version. So you are getting a little more of the oily. Usually you're getting more nicotine, and I'm not really feeling that I'm getting any more nicotine than usual. Because sometimes Maduros can be really heavy on the nicotine. You almost feel sick. I don't really I'm not really getting a overwhelming feeling of too much nicotine. But yeah, I mean, I would say that, is this one to go try? Absolutely. It's almost, I almost feel like I don't have anything to compare it to. It's almost like it's really in its own category. So I think this, unfortunately, is going to be one you're just going to have to try yourself if you feel like it's going to be something you want to do. And I would probably highly recommend going to a brick and mortar shop and just buying one and seeing what you think. My guess is you'll dig it. What I would hate to do is recommend it to you and you go buy an expensive box of cigars and not be that happy. I would really chalk this up as to a perfect opportunity for a brick and mortar purchase rather than an online buy a bunch of them purchase. So that's where I'm at with this. I'm going to continue to enjoy this thing. It's not changing a lot, so I think that it's just going to be a consistent cigar and continue to taste like it's been tasting the whole time, which is also, it's a good thing. Sometimes I like it when they're a little more complex, but I think this already has so much complexity going on from the beginning that it's actually just a very consistent cigar with a lot of complexity already built into it. So rather than it changing throughout the smoking experience, it's more just stayed consistently complex from the beginning to the end, which is also praiseworthy. That's pretty impressive as well. So Anyway, that's what I think about the Upsetters, the original Rude Boy Gordo 60 by 6 by 60 Maduro. So if it sounds like it's in your wheelhouse in any way, shape, or form, go grab one and find out. Anyway, Eric at SoCal Cigars. Continue to enjoy the rest of your weekend. It is Sunday here, getting towards the end of the day, so this will probably be the last cigar I smoke this weekend. So I'll sit and enjoy this, and hopefully you guys have had a chance to enjoy a cigar this weekend as well. Anyway, in the comments, after you maybe get one of these, let me know what you think, because I'd really be curious to see how this landed for you compared to how it landed for me, because I really wasn't sure what to expect. So anyway, again, Eric SoCal Cigars. I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.